What's happening, y'all? So, gonna get into some Searing Reflection Paladin. This is very similar, if not the same list as the last video I did for this. I think the list is in a sweet, sweet spot right now. Quick refresher, um, Searing Reflection and Colifero are trying to basically power out cool stuff fast. There's some great early game stuff. For example, Living Flame draws Searing Reflection. Equality Consecration is a must. Because we're playing Lanessa, O Manager and Metal Detector are great for the early game. Blob of Tar and Chronological Aura, great to kind of hold off mid game stuff. And then it just gets into just beefy stuff. Nomelia's great value. I love getting Nomelia off of Searing Reflection. An 8/8 Divine Shield that then deals damage to adjacent minions is very powerful. Anachronos clears the board. This Brute has been better than expected. On the surface, it doesn't look very good, but it's a pretty solid target for Searing Reflection or just for early game against aggro. Renewing Flames has turned out really good ever since I added Ursal, because Ursal having Searing Reflection as a target is good, but Renewing Flames give you just an additional target, and by itself, sometimes that'll just, help you clear the board, put extra, pressure on their face, stuff like that. And then from there, Colifero, very similar to Searing Reflection. Ragnaros, Tyrion, Ziliax, Factory Assembly bot is an all-star. But Ysera is a big one because that gives you more than 10 mana, so that way you can get Factory Assembly bot and the mini out on the same turn. Sometimes that makes a huge difference for just finishing out a game and doing that little end of game push. So that's essentially the deck in a nutshell. Let's get about 5 games in here. I was playing a game earlier, just kind of farting around with it, and I played Renewing Flames on turn 6 with a coin, Renewing Flames again on turn 7. Turn 8 was Ursal for Searing Reflection, and then drew another Searing Reflection. So I went like 4 turns in a row playing 7+ cost spells. I think I had Ragnaros with a Divine Shield. I had Ziliax with Divine Shield, plus I played the other copy, and there was like 2 other minions. It was a bonkers game. So I don't think I keep any of these. I'm definitely keeping O Manager. That's pretty solid. Even though Mage is normally not very aggressive, they could be playing Elemental Mage, but either way, I'm gonna hold on to that because that coin helps me power out Searing Reflection sometimes as early as turn 5 because I have a coin in this hand as well because I'm gonna be going second. So that actually makes me tempted to keep Searing Reflection. I think that could be good. Let's give that a try and see how it works. So, Mage can be a tough matchup because when they've got their combo, they've got their combo. I haven't. Oh, they're playing Ysera. That is surprising. They don't always. I guess sometimes they do. I still haven't figured out if both people have Ysera, if it increases our maximum mana by 5 twice, meaning we can get to 20. That would be pretty dope. But I hope the game doesn't go that long because that would be really unfortunate. Turn 2 Living Flame is cool. That draws another Searing Reflection. Yeah, it's the only target I can get, the only fire spell on the deck. Let's see here. So they got a bunch of armor. Looks like they're probably just going to sit around, do mage things until they kill us. So let's see if I can kill them first. That's fair. Consecration not so good against them. Yeah, I don't anticipate needing a quality Consecration against their deck, but I could be surprised, I suppose. Let's just kind of chill here. Next turn, I might just Equality and O Manager, just to make sure I get that coin off of that, because then I've got turn 5 Searing Reflection. That's fair. Ooh, metal detector is good also. I think I'm going to do that instead of the O manager, because that guarantees me a coin next turn and also deals with their threat. I normally like to do a little bit more in the early game, but that was a well-timed metal detector draw. Pass the turn? Yeah. Okay, Tyrion is fine, so let's do this. Get our other coin, that puts us to 10 cards, and we're gonna go double coin, Searing Reflection. Excellent. So they're gonna take 6 to the face right away. Yeah, this deck seems really silly on the surface, but it's surprisingly powerful. As soon as I started playing Lanessa, which gave me access to more coins with O Manager and Metal Detector, it upped the speed, which ups the power level quite a bit. And worst case scenario, if you run out of Searing Reflections and they have answers, then you just start dropping bombs, you know? Tyrion, Ragnaros, Factory Assembly Bot, Ziliax, just a lot of big, solid guys. Nothing too crazy, nothing like game ending immediately, but still very solid cards. Okay then, so we're just going to bash for 14. They're going to take another 6 at the end of the turn. This seems like a great position to be in. I'm tempted to use the hero power, but I almost don't want to clutter up the board. Because I have Searing Reflection again next turn. So, okay, I think it's math time. So they're going to take another 6 at the end of the turn, so go to 13. They may clear this guy. So that means I could attack for 12 the following turn, assuming they don't like Blizzard or something to hold off the team. They could barb the bartender. Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, I was trying to think if I needed to like waste an equality so that I could get the combo for O Manager, which would then give me an 8 drop next turn like Tyrion. That makes sense. Okay. Still don't know how they're going to do this, because Renewing Flames is going to do a lot of work here too. What is this again? Wow. Okay. So no matter what they do, I think they're dead. They've got to get a bunch of armor, because Renewing Flames is going to hit this guy and their face. Yeah, they're just dead. Well played. Alright, 1-0 after Mage. Pretty solid. And that's a good example of the power level. Like, turn 5 Searing Reflection is hard to deal with. I haven't seen any new decks lately. I think a lot of the deck building is kind of on pause right now. I think a lot of people are just kind of trying to grind out the decks that they have, especially because it's the end of the end of the month. And so I think people are more likely to play just decks that they know are good, trying to grind out some extra stars before the end of the month. So this seems like a good hand. I think I'm going to pass the Consecration, though, because I severely doubt they're on some aggro druid build. I mean, I have seen it before, but I think it's very, very rare to to see that on the ladder.
Well met. Nature's blessings upon you.
Yeah, the early turns are usually pretty boring. If you don't have what is it, Living Flame or the Metal Detector, you're usually just sitting there using your hero power, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Most of the fun stuff happens like turn 5 or later.
For justice.
Yeah, Blob of Tar is an all-star in this. It's it's great if you get a Searing Reflection into it because it's just an 8/8 Divine Shield plus the abilities. If you Colifero and make like 3 or 4 of them, that's usually really good. I've had people just concede straight to that without even having lethal. Ooh, look at that. So we got this. So we can turn 5 Renewing Flames, but I don't think that's super great. It's a good way to put pressure, but it doesn't really do anything unless I already have pressure to apply. I'm also going to hold off the weapon till next turn, because even if they destroy it, I still get my coin, but on the off chance they play something that I want to get out of the way, it gives me some options. Searing Reflection off the top would just be the absolute nuts right now, or if they decide they want to kill this guy. But, oh wow. So we can both get one and we drew one. Best possible. So we're going to do this. And once again, we're going to turn 5 Searing Reflection. This is kind of just how this operates. Yeah, that's not bad. And part of why I like this guy is because he's great against the aggro decks. If they swarm the board, he's a great thing to put in the way. But Searing Reflection target or Colifero target, he's totally cool. Very handy. Yeah, that's pretty much the criteria that I've used. If it's good to play early and you can get a solid Colifero Searing Reflection off of it, then it's pretty much in the deck. I haven't found many other things that really meet that criteria. There may be 1 or 2 things I'm missing, like every now and then I'll go back through the cards that I don't have, and there are some things I want to try, but of the things I've tried, these are the best ones so far.
True queen defends her people.
Oh boy. Okay, so I don't think it tells us what they did, but they did something. So another Searing Reflection on turn 7 seems great. Should they not play anything else, Renewing Flames could be good, because that'll continue to put pressure. But if they somehow take these guys out, then Searing Reflection is for sure the play. I think I'm going to go Blob of Tar here, because that, along with the hero power, enables the potential of a good Colifero in a couple turns. But I think this board is good enough that it's going to be hard for them to come back from this. Like this does... I mean, yeah, this is fine, but not going to be super helpful for them. They're playing Brute themselves. Amazing. So I'm thinking... Oh, okay. That's kind of annoying. Quality would be great here, but no luck. Let's see. So I can clear 1, 2... That'd be what, 3, 4, 5, that'd be 6, 7. So I could clear all of these guys. Renewing Flames could come down next turn, but that's probably not very helpful. Maybe just Brute Blobatar is fine. So we can do this. This will keep them from gaining life because of the Divine Shield. And then... Yeah, I kind of want a Consecration, though. I feel like that'd be good. Yeah, Consecration Blob of Tar seems solid. This doesn't draw me anything, but that's okay. That still gives me potential for a good Colifero next turn if it dies. If they play something, and I can always attack into it, then use it, but that would be losing this guy, which isn't ideal. So they did not draw something with 5 or more attacks, so that's nice. Does that put the others on the bottom? Yeah, okay.
I remember this place well.
Yeah, they're trying, but I don't think it's going to make a big difference. I may just Renewing Flames. They're at, what, 12 plus the 5, so 17. And I've got 10 here, 5 there. Okay, looks like they're gaining 5 more armor. Annoying, but fine. Ooh, good old Rag. I think Renewing Flames is fine here, because it just forces them to do something once again. Yeah, I don't think anything else is... Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so once again, what answers you got? I'm surprised there are quite a few decks in this metagame that don't have the ability to just answer a couple big threats like this. So something that I like to do is... you know, throw them out 1 or 2 at a time, let them deal with them, use a lot of resources, and then the second or the third time, you know, Searing Reflection, Colifero, or just hard casting something like Ragnaros, it becomes incredibly difficult to deal with after they've used all those resources. That's not always the case with something like, say, Death Knight, or what's the other one? Priest is pretty difficult because Resuscitate's a very good card. The Reborn aspect of that can be pretty problematic to deal with. What to do here? I don't think I want to waste this on one of these guys. It'd be good to have that guy around. So I'm thinking Brute Hero Power might be okay, but Searing Reflection could just end the game. Yeah, let's do that. Ah, not the greatest, but that's okay. So the risk I run here not having a taunt minion is that this guy could die to something else. They could just have a spell or something, which isn't ideal, but I think this is fine. Because next turn I can go Hero Power Colifero, and if I have at least 2 other guys, this being the third, then Colifero is usually pretty great. And I think they're more concerned about the 8/8 than they are the poisonous guy, so... Doubled stats, yeah. Well then. This seems like a ridiculous combo. What are they doing? So they're going to double its stats twice, or summon a copy double, summon a copy double again. It's pretty cute, I'll give them that. So that could be troublesome. Okay, Nomelia is helpful, but doesn't quite do it. That would be 4 to all of them, so 6 total to all of them. Still leaves this guy at 26, which isn't good. I think Colifero might be the best option here. Yeah, this is pretty good. That's a decent combo. Yeah, like I could go Brute, Nomelia, but that just, I don't feel like it does enough. Yeah, let's roll the dice. Bunch of Blobitars would be amazing. Ah! Alright, they got us.
Well played.
Okay, we're not sitting here while you do a bunch of cute stuff. You either kill me or you don't. I know everybody's guilty of it, but sometimes I'm like, dude, just end it already. Like, it's the equivalent of, but I still had all these. That was a really popular saying in Magic, but it's basically just rubbing your nose in the fact that you lost. It's like, let's just get this on with. We got a ladder to grind here. But yeah, until that combo, it seemed like a pretty good game for us. Another druid.
Fire does more than burn.
I will fight with honor.
I've never seen that deck before, so it's cool to see, but also because I've got a coin going second, I'm going to keep the Searing Reflection. Normally I wouldn't, because if I can draw O Manager or Metal Detector, then I've got another turn 5 Searing.
Well met.
I think it's about time I start playing with a different hero, because I recently got the Honored hero for Demon Hunter and Paladin, and those are the two heroes that I play the most currently. So it might be time to put some work into some other decks and see what I can grind out there. It's hard to just play a competitive deck. I like to break it up with fun decks like this every now and then. So sometimes that really hurts my my win percentages and the ladder grinding and all that type of stuff. But I always like to work on this creative muscle. Deck building is kind of a lost art nowadays.
Reporting for duty.
There's so much data-driven deck building in Hearthstone. It's pretty crazy. Because after playing Magic the Gathering for so long, we didn't really have access to that type of data.
Reporting for duty.
So to have all that data, I feel like it becomes a crutch for Hearthstone players. It's like, just, collect the data, let the data tell me what the cards that work the best in something is, and then you just keep kind of, relying on that. Okay, I was hoping for a Metal Detector there. That would still enable a turn 5 Searing, but I guess we've got turn 6, which is okay. That is pretty good. 10 random, so a third of their deck costs 1 and should be problematic.
To battle.
To battle.
Okay. Wow. Are they trying to hit my face? That? Oh, no, okay. Okay, so no Searing Reflection this turn. I think I'm just going to throw out Lanessa. Cool part about Lanessa is it makes your coins add 2 instead of 1. Not that that's super relevant next turn. I don't think I'm going to drop Ragnaros next turn. But sometimes it's relevant. There are times where I've gone like, oh, Manager, it gives you 2 coins because of Lanessa. And then you play those 2 coins for 4 more mana, so you're just cycling through stuff really fast. Good old Oaken summons. Ursol is pretty good. So this would take out their 2 guys. That might be better than Searing Reflection right now. Because I don't want them to gain too much momentum, especially since they've only got 4 cards. And I don't anticipate them having a really, like, spamming the board with a bunch of small guys, so this should be fine. had Lanessa lived, the Ursol was a great draw because then I could have gone coin for 2 mana and then Ursol for Searing Reflection 3 times. But I think next turn I'm just going to do that with the coin normally. Just please, I just really hope... Wow, okay. I was like, please don't draw Renewing Flames, because that's good, but nowhere near as good as Ursol with Searing. So let's do that. And then we're chilling. And they really got Mukla off of off of that 5/5. That's funny. Well, that's just rude. Okay, fine. Very well played. Okay. Wow, the turn after I go, I don't anticipate them spamming the board. They drop 5 guys. Okay. Anachronos could be okay here because I still get the Searing Reflection at the end of the turn. And they've only got 2 cards left. They really put a lot of oomph into this right now. Play something else, please. Oh, okay. Yeah, I really... Yeah, the Anachronos play seems fine here. Like, Colifero seems like a stretch. There's another blob of tar in the deck that could be okay, but... Yeah, I think just giving me 2 more turns is great. I'm always surprised that people forget about the Anachronos trigger. Wow. Like, I've seen people many times play a bunch of dudes, I Anachronos, and then they just keep playing dudes, and then their board is so full that they don't get back hardly any of the minions. Sometimes they get back none of them because they just fill it up with 7 minions again. Okay. Hard to argue with that. Ah, good old Tyrion. Okay. Goodbye, sir. Yeah, with no board, I think Ragnaros is great here. Just gonna get rid of a banana also. Doesn't make a difference on him, just makes him a little bit harder to kill, but I don't want those cluttering up my hand too much. Whew, that's good. So I hope they play a couple of guys so that they don't get back all of their guys from Anachronos, but we'll see. Totally cool, okay. Consecration would be a great draw here, just a quality Consecration to clear their board. Swing for 8. There it is. So only 3 of the 6 that they had, I think, or 5. I'm tempted to call a Pharaoh, but I feel like it's kind of a waste. If these guys could attack, the equality would still be pretty decent there. I'm thinking... I've also got 10 cards, so if I Searing Reflection, I'd have to play some other stuff too. Yeah, Greybow can be pretty annoying. Let's do that so they only get 1 minion off of there. And I think I'll do this, because then there's 2 guys that'll attack their minions. Hopefully not him, but we'll see. Nice. Cool. Okay. They've got, what, 18 power right now? I think... Okay, good. I was going to say, I think they could kill us if they knew... Because I think their location makes a bunch of dudes and gives their minions a bonus, so... They did not notice that, thankfully. That could have just killed me right there. I think they saw me hover over, now they're doing it themselves. Oops. Womp, womp, womp. Alright, so they're going to clear a bunch of guys, but then I'm just going to drop more. Good old Seismopod, and a copy of it. So that is annoying, but it is manageable.
Now is the time to act.
So I'm going to burn a card here. Eesh, not the greatest, but... how to play this? So Factory Assembly Bot's not super great here because the 9/9s are a kind of a problem.
Let me think.
I could equality, this kills a guy. I could take 9 if I hit it with a metal detector, but not super stoked about that play. You know what? Let's do this. This. Got this guy, so that'll definitely kill something.
I must move quickly.
I'm gonna do one here. I think I am just gonna take 9 to the face.
Turn to get ready. For justice. Reporting to duty.
Alright, not the, please don't hit the gray bow. Okay. I was hoping it to hit that guy because then that makes it less likely they'll get back gray bow, but that's the way it goes. Huh. Okay, 8 cards apiece. Copies of 5 random friendly minions that died this game into your deck that cost 0. Okay, so... sheesh. So a little over a third of their deck costs 0. Alright, this is getting a little out of hand. So I can play 2 guys and then Colifero and hope it's like... I can't remember if I burned Tyrion. I think I burned Tyrion. What else would I want to get? Is there another... I think I played a... did I play a Blob of Tar? Eesh. Yeah, I think rolling the dice here is fine. Let's do that. And... oh, you know what? Do I kill Greybow? It's fine. Every little bit counts, I guess. Ooh, very nice. Very nice. So now we're going back to 30. Definitely taking out the Seismopod. And then we can do this. Take out the poisonous one. That's fantastic. Okay. Very good Colifero. And I can follow up with the other Zilliax, like the normal Zilliax after this also. So they're going to make a copy of a guy also this turn. Which is unfortunate, but that's the way it goes. Jeez. Alright, hydration station is ridiculous. Well then. It might be about that time. I think this guy gets a Greybow still? Yeah. So...
I wonder.
only 5 cards left. I'm not super confident a Searing Reflection's going to do much saving now, especially since I already used Nomelia. That would be a great one to just clear these guys out. Yeah, I think this is really the best way to go, as bad as that is. 'Cause then I can at least do this. Don't want to kill the Greybow, but I'm gonna just try and get some dudes out of the way here, force them to interact. It's better than hitting my face, I'll tell you that. Thankfully, they've already played both hydration stations. So if I can grind through that, then, I mean, there's a chance, but everything in their deck has gotten, like, +9 or +12, something crazy like that. Yeah, I think Factory Assembly Bot and the Mini are decent here. Only 4 cards left. The problem is I don't want to Searing Reflection and just draw nothing off of it. That would pretty much ensure that I'm dead. Because they can make a copy still of something. So... yeah, I guess that's pretty much... yeah, that seems fine. I really got to start using the deck tracker thing that tells you what you've played and what's left in your deck. That would make a big difference here. As much as I hate to, I think I gotta kill a Greybow. I'm having flashbacks to an old game I played where the dude basically made almost infinite Greybows. Sheesh. Okay. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna find out what's left in the deck, because looks like Searing Reflection is gonna be necessary next turn. Jeez. Yeah, more Greybows. Alright, let's see. Yeah, not very helpful. What to do? I think the best thing I can do is just buy some time, because, I mean, they've got 10 cards to my 2. Yeah, this is probably over, but we'll see here. Even if I do that... yeah, we're just dead. Alright, 1 and 2. Lost a Druid twice. That's pretty nuts. Alright, about 2 more games or so. We'll see. Yeah, I still really like this deck. I think it's pretty strong. But there's probably some tweaks that need to be made. I really like the version I'm on right now, so I'm not messing with a good thing. So I'm trying to get in a lot more games to see kind of where the weak spots are. Another Druid, good lord. I guess people are loving Druid right now. Yeah, it's normally correct to keep Blob of Tar. Yeesh, not a very good hand. Okay. What to do from here? Yeah, there's not a lot of options with a hand like this. Really just comes down to top decking. Interesting. Okay, so they're going to have 4 mana on turn 2. Hopefully they're not doing anything too busted. They're just like, pass. Oh, okay. Oaken Summons is pretty good.
I remember this place well.
Ooh. That really sucks for them.
That was a mistake.
That really sucks for them. Jeez, just drawing nonsense right now.
Reporting for duty.
Well, it is good for them to just get more guys, because I'm not doing anything early, so they might as well. Forgive me, guys. My mother-in-law fell asleep. I got Blobatar next turn, which is nice, but... It's okay, just let her sleep.
Pillow.
Okay, so this is not looking super great. I'm just drawing complete nonsense. Metal Detector's a little better, but I'm just going to have to start hard casting bombs now.
For justice. Reporting for duty.
It's very, very rare that this happens where just no Living Flame, no Searing Reflection, no Manager, no Metal Detector till turn 5. Like, that's a very rare thing, so... And sadly, I think this Druid matchup is not very good, so I'm just going to hope that they're on a slow draw also. I think that, I think those extra mana crystals and the Oaken Summons might have been a little hasty on their part, might have been greedy, but it's the way it goes. So let's go... 1, 2, 3. So I can throw all these guys at this. I get a coin. And I guess Linessa's okay there. Because then that gives me the ability with the coin I get off of this. Linessa will let me play a 9-drop next turn. So if they do something crazy, I have Ziliax, but Tyrion seems a little better. Oh. Well, there's that. Okay, then. I kind of want a Quality Consecration, but maybe Ziliax is fine, actually. It'll clear it. And that gives... Yeah, minions in their hand and deck. So this could backfire. But I do think I need to start making some big swings here, so... And keeping this guy back is pretty awesome too now. I could have just hit it with that, and then, you know, Tyrion, whatever, but I think this gives me a lot of options. And if they want to play... Wow. Okay, that's unfortunate. Not what I thought they'd hit at all. So now I think I gotta do this. That just seems normal. And we'll Tyrion and hope they don't have anything crazier. Whatever they put in the way, I've got a Quality Consecration, Anachronos, worst case scenario. Jeez. Yeah, so are they just dead? I guess they're just dead.
Don't tell me, child.
Alright, so despite the slow draw, pulled that one out. I think we both had very, very bad draws or bad starts or whatever. So 2-2 after 4 games. 3 Druids in a row is pretty brutal. I swear, if I play another Druid, then I'm going to 6 games. But normally I just play 5. 5 games is the sweet spot, but 4 Druids would be horrendous. Please, Hearthstone gods, do not do this to me. Come on. Please, please, please. Okay, I'll take a Warlock. I kind of hope they're playing the Shreds of Time, I think it is. It's all the dudes that get the bonuses. But then it shuffles into your deck a card that deals 3 damage to you. Not sure if I should keep a Quality Consecration. I think on the off chance that they're playing that... Yeah, it's normally great just to have this. I think this is okay. Because I'm not going to do much in the first, like, 4 or 5 turns anyway. Yeah, Metal Detector's a great draw. Had that opening hand had Metal Detector, I probably would have thrown those away. Because then that gives me, with the coin and this, turn 5 Searing Reflection potential. Ooh, Zerg. Good old Zerglings. Okay, it is Shreds of Time. Alright. I'm tempted to coin Consecration. So what's this looking like? No, I think it's okay. I'll take some damage early, but as long as they don't do anything too busted, I will be fine. And I can turn 5 Renewing Flames. I can always turn 5 just a Quality Consecration if it's crazy stuff. Ooh, Ursol's a good draw. So let's do this. We're going to get this guy out of the way and just have to deal with a 1/1. That's way better. Yeah, I hope you guys can't hear that snoring, but it is what it is. Wow, Consecration alone could be fine here. That's a good draw also. So I could do both actually. Let's do I think I'm gonna do this coin and then Consecration, because that puts me in a really good spot here. And I'm gonna hold up the weapon so that I have something else to interact with them. Sure, Corpsicle's pretty good. And they definitely got the corpses for it. Alright, give me that life back. Much better. Yeah, I think against a deck like this, if I can get Ursol with Renewing Flames, that's really great. So, unless I draw something that changes the plan, that's probably the plan. Totally cool. 2 turns and 2 spells. I already gained my 5 life. Very surprising they didn't play any minions last turn. Okay. Ah, that's a pretty good combo. Okay, that guy costs 0 if you play that spell. Very interesting. Heh. Nomelia's cute. It's gonna kill that guy right now. I could save it, obviously, but I think this is awesome. And we'll hold up the weapon, just in case. So next turn I've got Coin, Ursol, Renewing Flames. And that's 30 damage spread across 3 turns. I assume they're going to do some stuff here, though. What else you got? Okay, what else? So I could equality and then O-manager this and hit that. I think that's just fine, actually. I'm going to take some damage, obviously. I'm taking 4. Not the greatest, but I think I'll be able to recoup some of that life.
For justice.
And with 5, I can't really do anything else there, so we'll just go there. So next turn I can factory assembly bot, but Ursol seems best because Renewing Flames is going to help me get back to a reasonable life total. Amazing. So yeah, Ursol to Renewing Flames. Paging Dr. Ursol. Yeah, and I don't even really care if it hits this or not. Obviously, that's a very good card, but 50-50 shot. Sweet. And 3 to the... Yeah, this game's basically over. Yeah, they know it too. That's fair. Alright, 3 and 2 after Warlock. Alright, so I normally stop at 5, but I'm going to go one more. I'm feeling good about this one. If it's a druid, I swear, please don't be a druid. But I think the power level of this deck is pretty evident. There's been a couple bad draws and bad hands, but that's why I'm playing this. I want to really see what stands out as being unreliable cards and where the holes in the deck are. I think the early game is good enough, so assuming I don't have a completely horrendous opening hand, I'm not too concerned about aggro. Murlocs can be tough, but I think with Linessa and the rogue cards, that helps a little bit in at least the early game. Okay, a mage should be interesting. This is normally a combo mage when you see mage, but it could be elementals is the problem, because if they're elementals and I get rid of consecration here, I'm going to be kicking myself. It is so much more likely they're not. Do I basically lose if I don't keep consecration? Because if it's that much of a coin flip, then yeah, let's just keep it. I think it's fine. Living Flame's a great draw. Perfect. I assume they're not, but on the off chance, it's good to be prepared. Okay, they're not. Imagine mage, elemental mage with Ysera. And the other thing is, this isn't too bad because it does make it so I just got to draw a quality to be able to clear their board out of stuff, which is not usually too much of a big deal, or too big of a deal, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, I think I'm okay with a trade here.
Let me
Reporting for duty.
Good old equality. Unfortunately, I can't get those coins off a manager this early. I can double manager their face, get a coin, but then that gives me turn 6 Searing Reflection, which is still good. That's fine. So I guess I'm gonna double manager their dude. It's not the greatest, but I get a coin, so I accelerate a little. Knowing my luck, I'm gonna draw Ursol, and then I'll feel like I gotta wait another turn for Searing Reflection, but we'll see. Come on, Ursol. Paging Dr. Ursol. Okay, I've been calling my draws a little bit too much. That's that's pretty crazy. Okay. Yeah, I told you I had a good feeling about this. Let's play one more, I said. I don't think I know Melia here. It just feels entirely unnecessary. Wow. Yeah, that's a phenomenal draw. I could Consecration and just keep bashing, but I don't think it matters. So let's just hit them in the face. And next turn will be amazing. Dang, what a draw. Yep, literally don't care. That's fine. Wow. So very glad I didn't play Nomelia, because that would have given them a 50-50 shot of hitting Ursol there. I guess let's clear their board. Why not? Alright, what do we got? Alright. It draws another Searing Reflection. It's fine, I guess. Pretty much the worst target, though. Outside of... Actually, I think Ysera is a worse target, because it literally does nothing. Sure. And I guess, let's do that, I guess. Seems good. Annoying, but fair. Okay. Also annoying, but still fair. Good old Renewing Flames. Yeah, I think we just bash face here. So the thing to be concerned about also is that sometimes they can... There's a spell, I forget what it's called, but it can copy minions that you've got out. So I am tempted to get rid of these guys. I think that's the smart thing to do here, just in case. Because they're still taking 8 to the face. And I can do Renewing Flames for 10 to the face also. Just trying to see if that feels too greedy. I mean... Yeah, I think the more pressure, the better. Let's do that. Alright, so we're getting a full board. What do we get? Awesome.
All are nourished and the cycle renews.
Okay, but what? Aren't they just dead? There's no way they have something else here. Ah, of course. 0 mana Blizzard is pretty good. So I don't think I do anything because I'm gonna get a dude here, and I want to have space for that guy also. Yeah, so I just chill here. Of course they have another blizzard. Of course. I don't think they realize I want more space on the board. That's good for me. Wow. Okay, so they're going to take 6 off of this. Okay, do we roll the dice with Colifero? This could be nutty. What would I get that would be better than what I have? Ragnaros would be amazing. I think there's a Blobatar in the deck, which would make this worse. Yeah, I don't think I mess with this, because that's gonna make a dude. Then I'll have 5. So if I play this, I'll have 2 6/7s that attack at the end of the turn.
Let me think.
Cool. So yeah, no need to mess with the good thing. It's really fun to play Colifero, but sure. Sure. You need more than that though. Ah. Okay, that's just kind of rude. So this is still going to trigger at the end of the turn. So let's make space with this guy. So that'll make 1, which goes to 5 minions, so I can still play this and hit them for 12. This can hit them also.
For justice.
Yeah, I like this deck too much. This is way too much fun.
So much more than the universe has left us.
Sure. Of course they have another blizzard. Ay ay ay. Okay. Sure. Overkill much. Ooh, good timing for Ziliax. Quality Consecration is also not bad. That'd be 5. I wouldn't be able to Ziliax also. You know what, let's a Quality Consecration and then Colifero. I'm feeling lucky. Hold on, no. Math is important here. So let's say I get... I think I've got both of the Living Flames already. So let's say I get a Blob of Tar. That would be 5 of them. That's only 10 damage, plus this is 13. And they're at 15. So I do have lethal on board, but they also have a bunch of spells.
We must move quickly.
Maybe Searing Reflection is better. You know what, I feel like they're very likely to kill this board, so let's see what we get. Amazing. Like I said, I'm feeling lucky. Should have just went with my gut. But yeah, you gotta do the math and at least consider. Of course they have another blizzard. That's 4 this game. 4 blizzards.
Don't use your head. My
Okay. Sure. So I can either Searing Reflection or Ziliax. I only get one of the Ziliax copies, unfortunately. That keeps them from gaining life if I do Ziliax there, and it also gives me 6 life.
Let me think.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Because I'd like to keep them at a low life total. No life for you. And let's get rid of that guy. And the coin makes it so nothing is relevant. Okay. Good. Okay. That's annoying. Play the mini also. Crossbow to me, I say. Oh, yes. Very lucky there. And Ragnaros. Come on now. So I could Searing Reflection and Ragnaros. Ooh, very nice. And that still doesn't mess this up, so let's go here. They do have the potential to make more copies of this. I'm doubtful they have that spell, though, so let's just...
Test me, child.
Do I do this? I'm trying to think of how bad it would be if they made more copies of this. Because I've had people do this just almost infinitely. Like literally more than 1 million armor. It was horrendous. There's a picture on my YouTube posts. Because that was insane. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this because that protects me from my fear. And it also makes sure that they get hit for 6 and 8. So they're going to go to 17. Of course. Alright. If only those weapons stacked.
Stand with me.
That's pretty good. Come on. Alright, after 6 games, 3-3. I played against Mage and Druid, mostly, and 1 Warlock. So, not the worst. 3-3 is okay. For a deck like this, I think 3-3 is fine. It's literally a 50-50. I'm trying to think of what would make the Druid matchup a little better. I'm still not completely sold on the Chronological Aura. That may be a slot that I play with. And I have considered going down to 1 Brute, but I do like having that because those aggro matchups can be pretty brutal. The Metal Detector, O-Manager, Living Flame help a lot, but especially Blob of Tar as well. Yeah, maybe Chronological Aura is a spot that I'm going to play with. But I really like all this from, like, Renewing Flames down. And Akranos has turned out to be really helpful. Yeah, so I'll probably play with this slot, maybe one other, but I think this is the most solid version, at least with what I have that I can come up with so far. But yeah, I'm going to keep playing with this, and definitely check out the other parts of these videos. I can't remember if this is part 3 or 4, but or no, I think this is part 5. But check out the other ones if you want to see how I got to this version. I started with a very, very basic version. I think I still have it even. Let me see. Yeah, so this is the version I started with. Just a lot of just card draw, life, healing. Hammer of Wrath was a big favorite at first because Hammer of Wrath enables Holy Glow Stick, so you can take out a lot of minions. Flash of Light, even. So I was literally just like, let's play Searing Reflection and try and get cool stuff. Briarspawn Drake was really fun to kill people with. I once had a Colifero where I got, I think, 4 Drakes, and they had minions also, so they attacked the minions and just killed them that way. So this was a lot of fun, but very, as you can tell, very unideal, very noob. So if you want to see how that turned into the version I just played, definitely check out those videos. And if you're watching on YouTube, check out the Twitch and vice versa. Same handle on both of those. Tons of videos on YouTube, competitive and fun decks, as well as battlegrounds and stuff. And I'm streaming most days on Twitch for a bit. So peace and love, guys. Thanks for watching.